We've got an interval style session today that is all around our theme of the month of posture. So we're going to be really trying to mobilize the spine, create space in the body, sit up nice and tall, open through the chest, and create a little bit of strength in the core. But all of that is going to be done in an interval style. So we're going to do roughly 40-45 seconds of work, followed by 10 to 15 seconds of break. So if you see me randomly checking my watch, it's just for that reason. To keep an eye on it. So we've got about 20-25 minute session. And we're starting sitting. And if you struggle with seated exercises, you can definitely do these first few on your on a chair if you need to. Okay, so seated to begin with, we're going to sit up nice and tall, lift up through the chest, take your hands around the back of the thighs. And like I say, if you need to be on a chair for this, you definitely can be. But find those sit bones if you can, whether your feet are on, whether you're on the chair or on the floor here. Hold around the back of the thighs and it gives you a bit of leverage to really lift the spine. Draw those shoulders down, try and find your tummy and just feel like you draw it away from your thighs. And that's not always going to be a physical reality, but it can definitely be an internal connection. So really scooping in, trying to flatten that area. Lifting up through pelvic floor. We're going to lift the arms up to start with. Keep your legs nice and stable. And you're just going to start by rotating back, pulling back with one elbow and rotating forward. So nice and gentle to begin with. And what you want to think about here is imagine you've got a band between your two hands. So as you pull back, you stretch that band and you're mobilizing your spine. You're manipulating and moving your chest, but you're leading with the elbow. Now, if you're a shoulder person, you might want to take that elbow a little bit lower because it's just going to help you to stay out of your neck and shoulders. Rotate those ribs, lift up through the crown of the head if you can, nice and tall. Keep going. We've got another 3 and 2. So really exaggerate that. Pull back 1 and back to center. Pause here. If you need to give the legs a little shake out, like I say, you can be on your chair if you need to be. Otherwise, we're staying here. We're keeping those arms forwards, but this time we're taking it into a big rainbow. So we're going to lift up and over, and we're reaching behind, and then up and over and reaching forwards. So the spine moves as a consequence of the arm moving. But what I want you to think of here when you do this movement is that you're trying to take that chest with the arm. What I see quite often when I do this in a kind of real life class is people moving the arm and getting all caught up and tense up here, but forgetting that the movement's got to come from the ribs. You've got to take that chest there too. Otherwise, you're going to end up caught all the way up into your neck and shoulders, and you're not mobilizing. And we really want to find mobility and space here. So we've got, I reckon, time for another one. Open out and release forwards. Now, again, you can be on a chair for this one, and you also have the option now to straighten the legs if you want to. Soft knees is fine because we do want to be up on the sit bones. Straight legs is an option. Flex those feet. Now, you're going to take your arms and open them out to a T. And again, we're going to move quite quickly here. We're going to exhale to the side, inhale, center. Now try and lift that chest as you move. Inhale, center, and center. Now, can you lift through the pelvic floor a little bit more? Can you pull your belly to your spine anymore? Let's lengthen those legs. Let's lengthen that spine. Double pulse now. We go side, side, center. And lift. And exhale, exhale, lift from that belly. Tighten that belt as you come back to center. Let's go 2 more. And lift. 1 more. And center. And rest it back down. Now, we have 1 more here, but I'm going to take us back to it in a second because I'm going to give those hips a little break. Take the hands behind you. Fingertips face. You don't want to face them towards your toes because that's going to clunk into those shoulders too much. Take them a little bit out so they're kind of 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Strong tummy, reach your feet away, activate those legs. Belly on, and when you're ready, push the floor away, and we're just going to lift the bottom. Now, how high you go is up to you. What we don't want to find here is a sinking through the chest. This is what I see quite a bit of, shoulders forwards. So we want to keep that space, like there's a ruler across the front of the chest, and you've got to push into that ruler. You can't sink away from it. You can't dip down. You've got to stay lifted. So push the floor away, activate those arms. Your eye line can stay looking forwards, particularly if you're someone that takes tension into your neck. Push the floor away and don't let those shoulders come up to the ears. Quickest way to get into the shoulders is to allow them to do too much work here. You want this to be full body. Legs are working, tummy's tight, and that's supporting that lift. We're going to go 2 more here, opening those hips, opening those shoulders. If you're tight in the chest, this is going to be tricky. Don't worry, just take a smaller lift. Rest there, relax. Come on, back up to sitting. Now we're going to take the legs wide now, as wide as your mat, if you can. Now we've got saw. This is never my favorite. I put it in because it's really good for shoulders and spine. Up on your sit bones. You could be on a cushion if you needed more height. You can definitely soften the knees if you need to. Take the arms wide. Now we're turning to the left, and as we do, the right arm comes across, left arm reaches back, and we reach to that left leg. And then we come back up and we open to a T at center. We go to the right, the left arm comes across, the right arm pulls back, reach, and back up. Now, whichever leg you're reaching over, you want to try and anchor down through the other sit bone, the opposite sit bone. So make sure that pelvis stays anchored to the floor. We turn and lengthen, up and center. One more each way. Reach out and lift up tall, center. Other way, turn, reach, lift up tall, center, and relax there. Drop those arms down. We're coming onto your back. I'm going to just shed a layer quickly. So make your way down to the floor. And we have an abdominal sequence here, which is starting with dead bugs. So we're going to take the legs one at a time up to tabletop. So again, we're keeping an eye on time, roughly 4 to 5 seconds of work, 10 to 15 seconds of break. Now starting here, we're going to take this in sequence. Draw the tummy in, really pull the belly down to the spine, but make sure you're neutral. Little tuck of the tail if you need it. Then we toe tap. We go down and up. Now what I see with toe taps a lot is this drop of the foot. And can you see how that doesn't add load? It's not changing my thigh position. To add load, you've got to send the leg away. That's how you strengthen lower abdominals. Now you can take your opposite arm at the same time if you'd like to. Exhale, open. Inhale back. Keep those shoulders drawing down, armpits to waist. Can you tighten your belt anymore? Keep going, open and in. Just legs is an option. And if you just prefer to do single leg lift and lower, that's definitely an option too. So take a version that works for you today. Bearing in mind, we're going under a little bit of speed, so you might want to slow it down. One more here, pause at center, take those feet to the floor and rest there. Find a neutral position. So we're taking a chest lift because it's always good to strengthen the front of the abdominals for posture too. So we want to keep those elbows wide though. We don't want to pull the shoulders forwards because that would not be supporting our posture. So we want to keep the tail down, ribs in. And when you're ready, it's an exhale up, inhale down. And we're going to make these quite quick this morning. Up and down. Go as fast or as slow as you feel is going to work for you. Don't feel any pressure to stay going fast. If you'd rather take a little bit more time over it, you definitely can. But you want to try and make sure that your pelvis is down, your shoulders are down, your elbows are wide, your neck isn't doing the work here. Think of the armpits pulling to the waist. Think of the ribs sliding to the hips. And we've got time, I reckon, for another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and rest back down. Now hold this here. Take a moment. Any of the previous 2 options you can now choose, so dead bugs or chest lifts, or we can combine the 2. So we bring the legs up, take them to tabletop. Legs are knees over hips, tummy on, spine long. When you're ready, we're going to curl up, hold the chest lift, try and get some height. Don't worry if you're not neutral, rather you are high. Get all the way up and let's go. We tap and tap and tap. Now elbows wide. Try and take this, stay nice and high. If you need to take a break, you definitely can. If you need to take the head down, you can. Keep thinking of scooping the tummy into the spine. If you're neutral, brilliant. If you're not, don't worry. Just make sure those elbows are not pulling forwards, that it's your armpits that are sliding to your waist. This is starting to burn and we've still got 10 seconds. So stay high, stay with it if you can. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down, hug those knees in. Take a little moment. We've got a slightly different exercise now. This is an exercise from the Pilates Reformer that we're adapting for mat work. Arms come up to the ceiling. So it's called coordination for a reason, because it takes a little bit of thought. Shoulders draw down, legs in tabletop. Now we exhale, lift, and we reach the legs away. At the top here, hold that belly in, open and close the legs. Draw the knees in and release back down. Now, if you didn't want to do the legs, you would just come up and release down, and you can do that with the feet on the floor or the legs in tabletop. So it's a lift and a reach, open and close, knees in, chest and arms back to start. Again, lift. Now you've got to get that neck tucked in so that you're not hanging out in your neck. You've got to tuck the chin in, squeeze and get as much height as you can. Think of reaching your fingertips to the end of the mat. So those arms press through treacle as you lift. They're powerful, strong, and they're dynamic. They're lifting you. Squeeze up. This is your last one. Hug those knees in and rest back down. Take a moment, have a little roll across your lower back. So that is our supine sequence all done. So we're coming now onto our sides. We've got 3 exercises to cover on both sides. So we're starting with single leg long. We're going to make sure that the pelvis is facing forwards, and that remains facing forwards. I taught this in a class yesterday, and lots of hips were rolling back. So we want to keep that pelvis stacked. Lift up through your ribs, check that elbows right under the shoulder. Top arm comes all the way over, and as that comes over, you can lift up through the ribs a bit more. You can feel like that you get that little bit of a rainbow through the waist. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the legs, stay facing forwards. Let the ribs drop and lift that leg up. Arm comes to leg. And then you lift the ribs. So it feels like it's less leg work and more core work. So hips are forwards and we lift those ribs and then we allow the ribs to drop. And that kind of creates that lift in the leg. It's like we're not leading with the legs. We're leading with the drop of the waist and the lift of the waist. Keep going. Reach long through the arm and the leg. Lift, lift, lift. Let's go for one more here. Get that big reach. Careful you're not dropping into that bottom shoulder. Lift up and over. Hold here and come all the way up. So you're going to come up to a staggered position with the legs. Hand is quite far away. Shoulder down. Lift into those ribs again. Reach this top hip away. Take the top arm to a diagonal. Then we rotate round. So keep the pelvis still, the legs still, and rotate that top arm. Draw back with the bottom shoulder and reach round with the top shoulder. Feel like you're pulling your ribs away from that bottom hand and then open up. Okay, so it's like you pull away from the ground. Let's go again. We rotate round. Feel like you're trying to pull your chest away from the mat. Push and pull. Shoulders back. Press the floor away and open. And again, we go. Just 2 more here for the time. Rotate round, lift, and get that big amount of space. If you're seated at a desk a lot, then your upper back will get stretched, and that can cause some tension in the upper back there. So this is just creating a little bit of mobility there. When you're ready, you're going to come back down onto that elbow. Now your option here is to keep the bottom leg bent. In fact, let's keep the bottom leg bent today. Let's take the top arm to the side. Shoulder draws back and down, and we're going for a side bend. So again, we lift with the ribs. We're going up, take the hips up and reach the arm over and control back down. Okay, tricky on the shoulder. So you need to make sure that bottom armpit is pulling to the waist. If this is too much, I'd encourage you to do what we were just doing, these lift. Same exercise in terms of the the waist is doing the same amount of work, but it's a little bit less work for the shoulder. So if your shoulders aren't great, take it back a notch. Inhale over and exhale, release down. Let's go up and over. And one more, time for one more. Lift and open and release back down. Take it all the way up and swap sides. Well done, guys. Okay, so we go for those openings first. So again, top leg straight, bottom leg bent. Lift up through the ribs and then adjust that shoulder, because you might find you're ending up about here. You want to bring that elbow in so it's directly under so it can support you. Take the top arm up and over and create that lift in the waist. And then we go, the leg comes up and the arm comes towards it and we open out. Now remember, it's not leg work, it's waist work. Can you feel the lift of the ribs? How that pulls the belly in and pulls you away from the ground. Imagine a strap under that waist, lifting up to the ceiling, pulling you up. So like you're being hoisted off the ground by your waist. Oh, everything else kind of slumps to the floor, but the waist is high and lifted and engaged. Let's go 2 more. Last one, let's take this as your last one. Up and over and relax there. Let's come all the way up, staggered legs, hand away, arm wide. Lift through the waist, shoulders down. Let's rotate round. Draw the tummy in, pull the armpit back, rotate, find the hand, push, pull, and open out. And again, exhale, turn. Get rid of the air in the lungs so you can really find space. And inhale, open. Face forwards. And go again, rotate round. So it's important that not only do we turn the ribs, but that we return to facing forwards. Last one, rotate round. And open up nice and wide and relax there. Coming back down to that forearm. So we've got our side bend, top leg goes straight again. Check those ribs are lifted and that elbow's underneath. Now the shoulder is away from the ear and you need to get that armpit to pull down so you really get that strength from underneath, that support. So when you're ready, we go up and over, lifting the hips and control down. And again, up and over and control back down. Keep going. Strong in the tummy. Again, we're being hoisted away from the ground by the rib cage. Neck is relaxed, it's just moving with. Shoulders open, collarbones broad. Really keep facing forwards if you can. Try not to let your body twist and turn to face the floor. We've got time for 2 more. And last one. Up and over. And release back down. Stay there, but twiddle over onto your tummy now. So facing the mat, we've got a swimming exercise first, and we've got a few back extension exercises just to finish off. So head on hands, shoulders draw back. Let's get out of those necks. Just have a little rotation of the head if your neck is a little bit tight. Rest the head down. Shoulders pull back. Now we're going to start here with a single leg lift. I'm going to take it into swimming. So begin with legs parallel, activate the legs, tuck the tail, draw the tummy in and engage your bottom. Lifting a leg at a time. We go up and down and up and down, kind of marching from side to side. Now, if you'd like to, draw those shoulders back. And if you can lift both legs off the floor. Hold them off the floor and take a little swimming kick. Try not to bend at the knee. Try and keep the spine long. But most important here, keep the pelvis still. Shoulders pull back. You want the body to be totally stable and the legs doing the moving. If this is okay for you, and there's no tension in the lower back, if there is, take it back a level. If this is okay, make that kick bigger. Go for it, like you're powering along the swimming pool, trying to go as fast as you can. Draw that tummy in. Can you squeeze the shoulders back? Can you lift the belly button anymore? We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest back down. Take your arms to a W. Back extension. Keep the legs where they landed. Draw the shoulders back. Roll your nose forwards. And now let's inhale, lift the chest. Opening up to the front of the room. Armpits draw back. And exhale back down. Relax the head. We go again. Roll the nose. Can you broaden those collarbones? Elbows anchored. Lift up through that chest. Think of opening forwards rather than lifting too high. Keep those collarbones open the whole time. So even when you come back down to the ground, don't let those shoulders slump forwards. Think of that as part of the challenge, is keeping those shoulder blades back and the collarbones broad. Let's go for 2 more here. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1 more. All the way up. And halfway down. Now pause. This is our break. Shoulders back. If you need to take a breather, relax down. Otherwise, just hold this. Can you tuck your tail a little bit more? Could you lift your belly a little bit more? Now holding this position, not relaxing in the neck, nice and long from tip to toe to crown of the head. Collarbones open, elbows down. Could you lift your legs? Let's go into that single leg lift again. Single up, other side up, down, up, down. Now if you want to, lift the legs, little kick, little swimming kick. So just small kick, holding this extension. Remember, you can take your head down onto your hands at any point. If you're comfortable in the extension, hold it. But don't let this be a lower back exercise. You need more bottom, more belly. And if that's too much, take the head down. Take it back to single leg if you need to. If you want to, you can now make this a bit bigger, bigger kicks. Shoulders back. Really lift that belly. Can you lengthen your body any more? Can you exaggerate and extend those legs? 3, 2, 1. Rest it down. We have one final exercise, which is called pulling straps. Again, it's a reformer exercise adapted for mat. You can take any of the previous options if this is too much for you. So taking your hands open to a T, I want you to grasp your knuckles like you're holding onto a strap, holding onto a loop. Relax your forehead to the ground, but don't let those shoulders roll forwards. They might want to, but you're going to keep the collarbones broad. Lengthen the legs. Take them a little bit wider and extend them long. Squeeze the bottom, squeeze the belly, roll your nose forwards. Now inhale, lift just to that hover position that we were just in. So we're just hovering, shoulders and armpits pull back. Now can you lift those hands off the ground and reach your knuckles to the sides of the room? Could you go any wider, any further? When you're ready, you're going to hold the hover, but you're just going to pull the straps back towards your sides, towards your thighs. So it's little finger coming to thigh, open the chest, palms face down, and open back to a T on your inhale. Exhale, pull back. Use the breath because it's going to support you. As you take those arms wide, you add load. You need your inhale there to lift you up. Exhale, pull back. Can you lengthen the body anymore? Keep those legs down, tuck the tail if you need help with that. Let's go 2 more times. Exhale back. Inhale, open, nice long neck, looking down, not forwards. 1 more. Pull back, open to your T, and rest yourself back down. Well done. Come on up. Take your knees nice and wide. Let's get into a little bit of a pelvic opener. Sit your bottom back, reach your chest forwards, rest your head down, and take some big breaths, breathing into that upper back. Breathing into the tummy, allowing yourself to sink down towards the floor. Taking the fingertips, reaching them away. And when you're ready, come on up to sitting. And you are all done. Any questions, let me know. I hope you're feeling nice and open through your body, but a little bit switched on and engaged as well, a little bit challenged. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Like I say, I will upload this later today. It's good to see you here. Thank you for joining if you've joined live. Enjoy if you're watching this on catch up, and I will see you all again very soon. So have a lovely rest of your day. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye.